So this is an update on cycle 8 2021. So first, what has happened since March last year. And Liz just talked about that science operations were suspended in March. Of course, as you all know, the situation around the world and also in Chile changed very rapidly at that time. First, we postponed the call for proposals for cycle 8 at that time. And then on April 24, it was communicated that cycle 8 would be completely postponed by a full year. It was clear at that point that it was not feasible operationally to start with cycle 8 in October 2020. So what was decided then at that point was to run cycle 7 until 1st of October this year, and all non-completed cycle 7 projects A, B, and C will remain in the queue until the end of September of this year. So as Liz just explained, the idea is to hopefully start again in March and pick up where we stopped with cycle 7 observing, and then at the end of the year continue with the new cycle 8 2021. This is definitely the hope, but yeah, Liz has given all the details on that. In all these decisions, of course, as Liz also said, the health and safety of ALMA staff was, of course, the most important. The situation for the ALMA regional centers, we are all working at home, like all of you, I think. In Garching, we're exclusively working at home at the moment. The ARC network is still operational. During last year, and still all the tasks that the ARC network is normally performing are still ongoing. Of course, we're still staffing the help desk, also together with the ARC nodes. Preparing for future cycles also means community days like this, which are happening also in the ARC network in Europe. And all the other regular activities are ongoing, like quality assurance, which is now, of course, not happening anymore because data are not coming through anymore. But there was still some data to fix in the archive, so that keeps us busy. We're also still working on providing scientific guidance into the development of some tools like the archive, scheduling, observing tool, the quality assurance tool, etc. Delivering calibrated measurement sets is also very important. You probably know about this service. You can submit a help desk ticket and ask for a calibrated measurement set to be delivered, so you don't have to calibrate the data yourself. So these are a few examples of the activities that are still happening in the ARC and the ARC network. So cycle 8 2021. So we call it 2021 to make clear that we're talking about the new cycle 8 and not the cycle 8 that was originally advertised. The capabilities are basically the same as was advertised previously, +1, which I think I'll come back to later. What is important for cycle 8 is that the maximum baseline is 8.5 kilometers and 3.6 for the high frequency bands. So we don't do the two most extended configurations in this new cycle 8. So we're alternating now between long baseline years and years where we only go to a maximum baseline of 8.5 kilometers. Cycle 8 will be using the distributed peer review. Maybe some more details will come later. And the double anonymous proposal review. And another change in the new cycle 8 is that there will be no phase 2 deadline for PIs anymore. So everything you submit at phase 1 will be used for scheduling your project if it is accepted. But you can still submit change requests, of course, if you really find a wrong coordinate or wrong frequency setup, etc. But in principle, there's no phase 2 deadline for PIs anymore, so that saves us a little bit of time. The key dates, Liz already mentioned this, so March 17, cycle 8 2021 will be the call for proposals will go out, the release of the OT, so you can then start submitting your proposals. And the proposal deadline will be 5 weeks after that, on April 21st. And then in October, the plan is that this cycle 8 will start. And then also in October, there will be a deadline for a supplemental call for 7-meter projects, like we did last time. So the capabilities for cycle 8, as I said, they will be basically as advertised before. So that means solar observing now in band 5, VLBI observations, also very faint targets. So previously you had to have an in-beam bright source for your VLBI observations. That's no longer necessary. High frequency, band 9 and 10, standalone observations with the 7-meter array. Mosaicing for continuum linear polarizations in bands 3 to 7. Spectral scans are now possible with the 7-meter array. They were already possible with the 12-meter array, but now also with the 7-meter, and then hopefully in total power in the next cycle. And what is completely new in this cycle is this full polarization observations with the 7-meter array in bands 3 to 7 in the main call only. There will be a cap on the number of hours that will be offered for this mode, because the data will have to be reduced and quality assured manually. So this is going to take, this is a lot of work for people at JAO and at the ARCs. So that's why we put a cap on the number of hours that are offered in this mode. So proposal review. There's distributed peer review. That means that for every proposal that you submit, you will receive 10 proposals that you have to rank. So you have to read them and put them in, rank them in priority, basically. This is to enable larger community involvement in the review process for ALMA. So all the proposals that are requesting less than 25 hours on the main array or less than 150 hours on the ACA will go to this channel. So the proposals that request more than 25 hours will be reviewed by a panel. And there's also some change for large programs. So they will get a higher priority in the queue building from now on. This is following the recommendations that ALMA received from the visiting committee to put more emphasis on large programs which enable unique science, as we have already seen this morning. So large programs and also the regular proposals that ask for more than 25 hours will get higher priority in the queue building. The dual anonymous review means that names of the PIs will be hidden from the reviewers, and also the reviewers' names will not be known to the proposers. So it's completely blind in 2 directions. This, of course, is to address possible systematics and unconscious bias in proposal review. And other telescopes are, of course, also going in this direction. There's an FAQ for this, and we will give guidance in how to write your proposals in the right way. There's some instructions on what you should and should not do. Yes, okay, let me see. Okay, user support. So the ARC network is, of course, still open for user support. The help desk is open for general questions. You can submit tickets to help with your proposal preparation. Also, data reduction, archival research. We especially want to advertise, especially now, when there's no new data coming from the telescope. Archive research is, of course, a good opportunity. And the ARC network is very happy to help you with archival research. And also, especially in combination with this calibrated measurement set service that we offer, that would really make archive research a little bit easier, hopefully. And face-to-face visits at the ARC nodes are, of course, not happening in most places, but they do still happen virtually. So is there more? No, that was it.